a political analyst and a founder of the Sustainability Reader from Spain. The topic she'll be talking on is empowering equality towards a networking panopticon. Welcome, Mar, to this session on Women's Economic Forum. I hand over the stage to you.
Thanks so much. I'm feeling happy and privileged to be here once again. I'm privileged because after 2 years of COVID, the capacity to keep this enthusiasm, to keep this empathy in a digital forum is a whole challenge. We have shown as citizens that we could make changes. We could change our mindset in a few months after crisis. I'm happy. I feel really this serene joy to be here. And why I brought this emotional element to this discussion on gender equality, because for me, we live really on a chaos. This is a chaos that demand to be changed. We need to reform the system to get into a gender equality agenda. And for that, we need emotions. We live in an era of emotions. So emotions are the driver to change, the one who will boost the solution, creative solution, innovative solution. And I will go in depth on what means that for me. But let's start what we think about gender equality. What is the perception that is gender equality? We don't have to forget that SDGs, the SDG 5 on gender equality, is an agreement among nations. I always like to remind that because we need to establish a new relationship, a relationship within the citizens that identify their local needs. It's very important to adapt what means a global standard. It looks as a standard. The Sustainability Development Goals look as a standard, so we are looking to follow them. And that's wrong, because we are losing the enrichment of what means local. And this happened with Afghanistan. All the international community gathered against the nation. There's nothing so harmful to achieve equality than to go against something. We need globalization to reivindicate the name of a correct globalization, and to be global, being to be as diverse as we can. And we have to be careful not to commit these mistakes, because to be inclusive is part of the goal of gender equality. So what is gender equality? Gender equality is the measure of the individual empowerment of each individual. And I would like to highlight that, each individual. So it's a matter of freedom. But however, when we talk about SDGs, as I said before, it's like a standard. We try to establish a standard. And it's an agreement among nations. What means? We have public policies. That is all about gender equality. There's support from the states, public policies, and a very strong political leadership. That is the agenda. That's what we have right now. But we need to move to the future. That's why I started saying that emotions are so important to push us to creative solutions. We have to go out from that panopticon. What is that panopticon that we have right now? It's global institutions, representatives of the civil society, and political leaders. And this is what moves gender equality. And we are not moving forward. The citizens are around that panopticon, but with different agendas. Each citizen had a different agenda on gender equality. We don't have to forget that. It's not just one. There are many citizens. If we ask a woman in Alaska, for example, in US, what means empowerment? What means for her to feel empowered? What is that? Maybe she say, to take care of my children at home, my family, my neighborhood, working on the community, and to hold a hand, a gun, because that's what feels that is protection. And that we have many examples as we go through all the map around the world. So we cannot measure that. We cannot measure the freedom of each individual. So we need to establish different and higher goal that include everyone. And that cannot be filtered by the state, had to be boosted by the state. That's why my idea is to change that panopticon, and that panopticon enter the citizens. And then around and the global institutions that reform and adapt according what the citizens have to deliver, the message that the citizens have to send, the solutions that the citizens have decided that we need to get into gender equality. You don't have to forget that the last gender gap report established that we have 99 years to get into equality. Why this is possible? We have an agenda 2030, so it's not 99 years. Why this happening? For me, my interpretation, my humble interpretation is that we are not taking into account culture and individual action. So it's much more than listening. It's a matter of exchange, it's a matter of action from the citizen. And in this panopticon is what I say, this is a networking panopticon. This is the best way that we could make really a game changer on what means gender equality, to change the role of the citizen and not to have representatives of the civil society, but the civil society in action. And for that, the best model that we have, and in Women Economic Forum, they know it very well because we have this bridge that is G100. And in G100, that is global chairs with different expertise, gathering women all around the world with different traditions in a zero leadership. There's not the kind of leadership, the traditional leadership that is not working, because that model came after Second War as a solution and it works. But now we need to be a historical moment, absolutely different from before. So we need to use that structure, but differently, innovative. And for that zero leadership, the type of leadership, when the collapse of the global institution, they don't deliver, when you have political agendas, I will not, for today only, I will not enter on what means the ideological, political, partisan influence, but just to have a political agenda, slow down all that process. And we need to take that into account because the citizens do not hold a political agenda. They go directly and they enter directly in that networking to deliver solution. G100 is about that, a zero leadership, everyone with their different expertise. Zero competition. We are not trying to compete. In fact, there are inside this panopticon of networking, we have women of different networks that are inside, because when you have a higher goal, you don't have competition. So zero leadership, zero competition, and zero debate. What I mean by that, the zero debate means that when you are pursue a goal that is common to all, there's no confrontation. There is just solution that adapt one to each other. So what I would like to invite all is to reflect of a new way of using networking as a way of knowledge exchange, better than what means to debate, better than what is confrontation. It's just to make solutions, to think on solutions, and to exchange, and to search for the skills of each of us to contribute voluntarily. There is time for community services. And that's why I started saying this is a matter of emotion, an era of emotions, because that will boost the reforms. When you work voluntarily, when you work at the service of the community, your emotions are very important. That serene joy that I started saying that I'm feeling today, is that what we need on this new structure. So just to end, I would like to leave this. We don't need a results-driven strategy. We need a values, results-driven strategy to start a new world with new reforms, starting from now and starting from here, each of us. So thank you so much for this empowering session that made me reflect an analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mar, for giving us such an insight in such a short time. I do agree with you that we need to do introspect and try to do our best for society as a whole. And Beth would like to confer on you the Exceptional Leader of Excellence Award, This is an e-award that will be emailed to you within a fortnight. Thank you so much for joining us from Spain.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.